Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to Unity of Kona. As we get started this morning, let's first of all start with the affirmation for August. I trust within me to guide me each day. I am grateful. Together? I trust God within me to guide me each day. I am grateful. And now I would invite you to stand and sing our opening song, Stand Together by Faith Rivera.
Hi, I'm Steve. Unfortunately, today I didn't bring my glasses, so I have to use my prescription sunglasses to read this. And I'm just trying to look cool, really. This is called Let Go, Let God, which is a principle I personally have used for numerous years, and I find it very helpful. Anyway, it starts with the affirmation. I turn within to my spiritual source in the face of any challenge, any fear. The affirmation, let go and let God, can be found on the walls of recovery programs throughout the world. Its truth is unquestioned. Its implications have only expanded as our collective consciousness has grown. Today, I recognize that letting God is not surrendering to an outside source, but choosing which of the narratives within me I believe. When I quiet the opinions and fears of my ego mind, I allow my innate divine nature to express through me as strength and inspiration in the face of every challenge the day may bring. I am an expression of divine love, and as such, I affirm, I turn within to my spiritual source in the face of any challenge, any fear. And if you'd share this with me, we'll repeat the affirmation again. I turn within to my spirit in the face of any challenge, any fear. And the quote for today is, God yearns jealously for the spirit that he has made to dwell in us. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. James 4:5-7.
Before we do our sanctuary blessing, we have a special announcement that's going to come up after the You Pray Up. This is Asta, and she's from Switzerland. She's been coming to Kona 20 years. I've known her the whole time she's been here, and she comes every couple of years and visits. Well, 12 years ago, she bought some property in Ocean View, and she paid a lot of money for it then, and it's now reduced in price, as we all know. Kona can do that in Ocean View. So what she generously did is sign that property over to us. And so this is her happily signing over the paperwork. And we now, there's us. And her, let's see, the person who was on the deed as well is her friend Brigitte. And because she lives in Ocean View, she was overseeing the property. So now we own an acre of land in Ocean View. And it's because of her generosity of spirit. How's that? And she was so happy to do it. So, and the lawyer who drew up the papers did everything pro bono for us. And the fees for the documentation are being paid by a congregant. So we're blessed. And some of the documents are tax exemption, so we don't have to pay property tax. So the blessings for this thing are just unbelievable. We are truly blessed in this ministry. Yeah, so more is coming. We don't know what, but we're trusting our guidance. Right, guys? Yes. There we go. Yay. So now, I invite you to visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. And let's see this heart moving in and around and through each one of us. And as it fills you with love, caring, and compassion for yourselves and each other, we have wonderful understanding, the spirit of truth that lies within us. We allow that to come forth right here and right now. And in this blessing, we truly see and know and feel God's blessing. And we're filled so full that we can express that energy to fill this room. We bless our children and Kayla in Sunday school. We bless all the volunteers, everyone who supports this ministry. And in these moments, we just allow that blessing to shine forth throughout the Kona community, throughout the Big Island, and moving out into the world. And if you know of anyone in need of prayer, see them in our heart. And if there's any circumstance in your world in need of prayer, in our world in need of prayer, see them in our heart as we sing our new meditation song, I Choose Love, written by our own David Kennelly.
Opportunity to shine, to be a light for all to see. The choice is mine, to manifest a destiny so divine, full of possibility. It's plain to see, it's up to me. So I will choose love, I will choose kindness, I will choose peace in every word I say. I will choose love, I will choose honor, see the divine in everything that comes my way. Each and every day I will choose love. I will choose love, I will choose kindness, I will choose peace in every word I say. I will choose love, I will choose honor, see the divine in everything that comes my way. Each and every day I will choose love.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Larry. And now is the time for us to begin our centering in prayer, to go to that secret place of the Most High God in us, and we close that door. And we can do this by breathing, taking a deep breath, the very breath of life that is God, and hold it for a moment. And as we exhale, we begin to relax. Breathing in again deeply and holding it briefly. As we exhale this time, we quiet our mind, we calm our emotions, and we just let anything that blocks us from being centered and on purpose right here and right now, we let it go, and we let God. Breathing in once more and holding it once more. Exhaling this time, we rest in the consciousness of our. watch your breath in these moments. Breathing and relaxing. Breathing and trusting and knowing that God within is guiding and directing us in everything that we think, say, and do. Allow yourself to feel this energy of that light of the Spirit of the Christ within. And we know and affirm this truth. I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of God in me. I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of God in me. And affirm this silently in your mind and in your heart. And we know this truth permeates every cell of our being. And we are whole and complete. As we go into a time of quiet prayer, let us ask, seek, and knock whatever is in our heart, whatever we may want to know right here and right now. And in these moments, receive your blessing in the silence. And now as we take another deep breath, we can truly feel that presence of God within. And we say, thank you, God, for blessing us, for shining within us, for letting our light shine today and always. And so it is. Amen. Yes, how is everyone doing today? Really good? Yes. Yay. What are we most happy about today? The weather. That is a miracle. Because how long have we been not so happy about the weather? 3 months. And you know, our circulation day, we didn't have a crowd of people like we anticipated. Guess where everybody was? At the beach. What a blessing. Blue skies, sunshine, 3 days in a row. That is so beautiful. I do want to thank and have everybody stand up who helped with Circulation Day, because you made it mighty fine. I'm telling you. This sanctuary looked like our old thrift store. Yay, God. Everybody came. The quality of goods was phenomenal. And at the end, as we broke it down in 20 minutes, and we blessed the thrift store in the building next door with 3 truckloads. More than that. We took a lot of stuff to them. We went to Hope Services, and all the homeless shelter people there were so grateful. We also have towels for you to take Patrick to Humane Society, because they always need towels for all the animals. Where else did we go? I think that was it. So we blessed the community in so many ways. And it was very funny because how many of you people took stuff home? We just kept wandering through, and the longer we stayed, we're like, I think I could use this. I think I can use that. I really think I can, right? And we did. It was such a blessing. So, if we do it again next year, it'll be even better than it was this year. So we just say thank you, everyone, and for just trusting that what we're doing for our community and for ourselves is a blessing in more ways than we know. And being that our theme this month is following your guidance and trusting, I asked you last week how many of you do it. A lot of hands went up, right? Are those hands still up today? Yes. So how many of you try to, when you ask for guidance, you say, okay, God, I want an unmistakable sign that what I'm doing is exactly right? Do you get that? Do you get that right after you ask for it? When do you usually get it? When you least expect it. And then what happens to me sometimes, it's so fast that I'm like, wait, I need to catch that thought. Do any of you do that? Yes. And as true students, we know how important it is that we live our lives through God's will, His desire for us to be the best human beings we can. How many of you follow your gut? That's what we are taught in many, many modalities, to trust our gut. Because our gut usually tells us what we're feeling. And in those moments when we're feeling like, oh my gosh, I better do this, it feels so right. That's God talking to us. And we know that in the Bible, one of my favorite quotes is, if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So how many of you are ever on the fence about something? Caught up in indecision. Anybody do that? We do, don't we? And we're like, well, I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. So one of my favorite prophets in the Bible is Moses. And for me, he's the reluctant prophet. So picture, he gets a burning bush. First he gets guidance. Then he gets a burning bush that tells him exactly what to do. And so what if he says to himself, I don't know, God. Is it really you talking to me? I got all these people looking for the promised land. And you want moi to do this? I don't think I can. I'm kind of busy right now. I got a lot of put fires out around this community, and we're traveling. We're not sure where we're going. So I got to be sure I know and I don't know, and they're looking to me for guidance, and I'm looking to you for guidance, and you want me to climb up that mountain and get my guidance? What do you think he said? I don't think so. That might be too tough for me. It might be too rough for me. What if I get lost? What if it's not the right thing to do? But what did he do? He did it anyway. That's what our guidance teaches us. That when we get that guidance, and we're looking for a clear sign, but when it happens, it's almost the still small voice that says, this is what I want you to do. And for me, I know what's true is that my guidance tells me, and there's never a reasoning behind it. It's just guidance. Because sometimes I want an explanation. Any of you want an explanation from God about, this is why I think you should do it, because you've been doing this for so long, and now you need to do something different, and all those kinds of things. Because what has taken over at that time? Not my gut. It's my head. And it's rationalizing. And I learned in a 12-step group that is rational lies. L-I-E-S. And they tell me, well, you're just so good at this, you ought to do this. But when it's God's guidance, it's clear. And you know it's what to do. Charles Fillmore wrote this about guidance. It's the impressions that come from spirit, the spirit of truth within. Our guidance comes from within. We might see signs all over the place. I often tell you the story about, I was in the 1989 earthquake. I worked as an insurance person. Comedy show, I'm telling you. Especially that day when the earthquake was happening, I was talking to someone about earthquake insurance. And I said, I gotta go now, and you can't get it. And it was very funny because in the old days, they told you to go underneath your desk. Now, a particle board desk that's huge, what is it going to do in an earthquake? It's going to crush me. And so all the phones went out, everything went out, and my boss was not there. He liked to go to the beach a lot. Hi, Hal. And so I couldn't get a hold of him for 3 days because there was no phone service. And the people who could call, guess what they were calling about? Thousands of claims. Thousands. And so shortly thereafter, that earthquake, the insurance companies decided to not insure broken glass that fell off your shelves in an earthquake. Any of you have those policies? Not anymore, you don't. Because if you look at your insurance policy nowadays, it tells you what's not covered, mostly. How many of you read those insurance policies? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyone in this room besides me? Yeah, because they're so easy to understand. And I've often said that my life as an insurance agent is like my life as a ministry, being a minister, ministerette, I call myself, is that I am trying to impart wisdom about something that's not tangible. And you might want to believe in it, but you mostly aren't sure that it's really there. And so that's how insurance was for me. It was like, when you need it, you cannot get it. And so what do we do in a last-ditch effort when something's going wrong in our life? We might remember, oh, I got to pray about this. But your guidance has always been along to listen, to follow, to trust. And did we do those things? Perhaps not. But now we will. How many of you promise God in that 11th hour you'll do anything? Come on. Where's those hands? You know you all do it, because we all do. I promise that I will lose 100 pounds if you just let me get through this. Anybody promise about weight loss? Anybody promise about relationships? That if you just heal my heart from this broken relationship, I promise I'll never do the same things again. And what do you do when you get in that relationship? We do the same stuff over again. Just looks different. So that's why we want to really practice and learn to trust our guidance. Because God is always guiding and directing us to move forward in truth. And when we do these things, guess what happens? We're building a firm foundation. And that foundation is about God. And knowing that God is everywhere, in everything. But our guidance, that spirit within, is in us. In these moments, every day, in every way. Our guidance speaks to us through our heart, through our feelings, through our gut. And it's a sense of that we know just what to do. How many of you trust that you know just what to do? It can be a challenge, can it? Yes, so what we want to do is learn how to practice. Because as we practice listening, what happens? We get better at it. So the ways that we learn to follow our guidance are very simple. but not necessarily easy. We allow ourselves to be in a space of non-resistance. Remember a few weeks ago I talked about welcome everything, push away nothing. We want to release our ideas of what the outcome might be. It's very important. Because when we get our guidance, sometimes we think, oh, I know what's going to happen. I know how it should be. And it's really just what we think we want it to be. But that may not be for our best and highest good. We want to allow ourselves to have a sense of peace that permeates every cell of our being on every level. Body, mind, emotions, and spirit. We want to be open and receptive to what comes to us, not just the answer that we're looking for. And we want to trust God for the right and perfect answer. Sometimes when we're waiting for guidance, we interpret everything as a sign, and we start to analyze instead of utilizing what we see. We know that our guidance, when we receive it and we listen, it just is, because God is. God is the I am. So when we receive that guidance, we know that I'm here. I hear you, God. There's no doubt. We don't need to try to figure anything out. There's a Danish proverb that goes like this: he who builds according to every man's advice will have a crooked house. How many of you want everybody else's opinion about your life and what you're doing? We do that, don't we? Do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? Instead of standing in that firm foundation of truth. Because we don't want a crooked house. We have to know that our guidance can come at any time. And it comes when you least expect it. An affirmation that I say daily, many times, is this: the Spirit of the Lord goes before me, making easy, joyous, and successful my way. I am grateful. And I've been saying that for many, many years. And I got it from a Unity minister named David Roth, because it works for me. And I want you to say it with me now. I'll break it apart. The Spirit of the Lord goes before me.
The Spirit of the Lord goes before me,
making easy, joyous, and successful my way.
making easy, joyous, and successful my way.
I am grateful.
I am grateful.
That's why I say I am grateful every month in our affirmation, because we need to practice that gratitude so we can feel that guidance and direction. Martin Luther King said, life is not always easy, but we have to take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take that first step. And so as we move forward in learning how to trust our guidance and direction, I invite you to think of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who created this unity movement. Not because they wanted to, but they were guided to. And they didn't intend for it to be a religion. They just wanted to help people to see the truth of their own being. And what I absolutely love about unity is the fact that Myrtle always said, take what you hear, take what you see, let it resonate in the garden in your heart. And if it's true for you, then act on it. If not, let it go. So unity was the first religion that gave me freedom to believe what I wanted to believe. And there were no boundaries. I didn't have to say, well, I got to do this and turn this way and do that and everything will come to pass. It was just sit in the silence and trust your guidance. And so we have to know, in no uncertain terms, that we are always divinely guided. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore wrote this beautiful dedication and covenant, which we always go over in our new members class. And what they said was that they dedicate themselves, their lives, and everything that they have to unity, to experiencing that Christ principle within themselves, and to share it with others. And how many of us are willing to do that? To give everything we have, everything we know to do, and trust God. That's what we're here for, is to experience that spirit that says, it'll be all right if you just let go and let God. Thank you, everyone.